You in the Fourth Era have already witnessed many of the attempts at reaching the final subgradient of all, that state that exists beyond mortal death. The Numidium, the Endeavor, the Prolix Tower, Kim, the Enantiomorph, the Scarab that transforms into the new man. Simply put, as the gods cannot know joy as mortals, their creation, so mortals may only understand the joy of liberty by becoming the progenitors of the models that can make the jump past mortal death. And so many of you give up, mortal death to Z. Those who do not fail become the new men, an individual beyond all, unerased and all being, jumping beyond the last bridge of all existence, is the last existence, the eternal I. I am. A whole world of you. God outside of all else but his own free consciousness, hallucinating for eternity and falling into love. I am and I are all we. The new man becomes God, becomes amaranth, everlasting, hypnagogic. Hallucinations become lucid under his eye, and therefore, like all parents of their children, the amaranth cherishes and adores all that has come from him. Ald Sotha below, 5th Era, 911. Now you may be wondering, what exactly does any of this have to do with the topic of this video? Well, I assure you, dear viewer, it has very much to do with it, and I shall explain how. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and welcome to Velveth of Skyrim as we explore how the worlds and universes of the Elder Scrolls and Fallout may in fact be one and the same. To understand this theory, we must first understand two pieces of deep lore within the Elder Scrolls universe, namely the idea of Kim and the concept of the Godhead, and what exactly they are. I will not go too in depth, but instead will provide a basic key understanding of these concepts so you can understand how they are related. First, to understand Kim, you must first understand the concept of the Godhead. Take heed if you are a mortal Tamriel. Do not continue listening any further, for this information will cause you to cease to exist, unless you have a transcendent sense of self and existence. The Godhead is, for lack of a better description, the one true God. The layman's explanation is basically the one true God is sleeping and dreaming. Everything in the Elder Scrolls is simply part of that dream. It is no more real than the dream of the Windfish, aka Koholint Island, in The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. If the Godhead would ever to wake up, the entire dream would likely cease to exist. Now that we have a basic, very bare bones understanding of the Godhead, we can move on to the concept of Kim. Imagine, if you will, you are a farmer in Rorikstead. You're minding your own business, plowing the fields, until suddenly you come to a random and shocking realization. You now somehow know and have the knowledge that for a fact, this field is not real. Those potatoes are not real. Your equipment is not real. Mundus is not real. The Aedra are not real. The Daedra are not real. You are not real. It is all a dream. Without maintaining a strong sense of self in this realization, you will simply cease to exist. Also known as zero sum. Much like when you are sleeping in real life, when you realize you are dreaming, you wake up. The dream ends. But imagine if you can still cling to the dream after coming to this realization. If you can maintain your sense of self, an unwavering certainty of existence, even in the face of knowing nothing truly exists, you achieve what is known as Kim. You essentially become a consciousness that is lucid dreaming within the Godhead's dream. You can manipulate the world just as any lucid dreamer can manipulate their own dream world. We know this is true because of Talos, aka Tiber Septim. We know he achieved Kim, and not only ascended into godhood, but he also changed Cyrodiil. Cyrodiil was once a lush jungle, but Tiber Septim transformed it into the grassy plains we see in the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. But he didn't simply morph the landscape in the present, but changed history to where it had always been grassy plains and never was a jungle. It is also speculated Vivek achieved Kim as well, and you may know that the Dwemer all disappeared suddenly, but don't really know why. Put simply, they tried to use tonal architecture to tap into the makeup of their universe. It is heavily implied when they did so, they saw the proof of the Godhead and the truth of them not truly existing. And since the tonal architecture was used to affect all Dwemer, they all came to this realization at once and ceased to exist. All but one, who was in another realm at the time, thus was not affected. Now you may be wondering, okay, this is all very fascinating and all, or even already knew this. But what does this have to do with Fallout and Elder Scrolls existing or not existing in the same universe? Well, my friend, this is all evidence that the Elder Scrolls universe is all but a dream. And what happens when we dream and that dream turns into a nightmare? Things get accelerated and completely change. Fallout is a bleak and depressing world. Whereas there is hope and civilization in Elder Scrolls, there is nothing but despair in Fallout. Even after hundreds of years, there seems to be no sign of rebuilding civilization. People roam the wastes in tribes and make a few settlements here and there. This world was once a thriving, perfect, futuristic utopia before the bombs dropped. You also have ghouls who are basically zombies, and several other monstrosities such as Deathclaws. True, there are Dreamora and such in the Elder Scrolls, but they are all but the peoples of the greater Daedra, the gods who did not involve themselves with the creation of Mundus. In Fallout, there are simply creatures, once benign, mutated into harbingers of death and destruction. The idea behind Elder Scrolls is live another life in another world. The idea behind Fallout is survive in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. I posit to you that the Elder Scrolls and Fallout are two sides of the same dream. Elder Scrolls, the normal dream, and Fallout when it turns into a bad dream. They both exist in the same Godhead's dream, but are two different realities that it dreams. They are both in the same universe, but also not the same universe. Fallout is not Elder Scrolls in the future, and Elder Scrolls is not a future version of Fallout where the Earth is finally healing and civilization is finally making some kind of progress. But they are still connected. Please keep in mind, this is just a theory. Admittedly, I don't have a lot of evidence on the Fallout side other than it's a rough wasteland in Fallout and would be a nightmarish existence. But I thought this would be a fun idea to explore anyways. There are just bits of deep lore in Elder Scrolls that would just make a Fallout unable to be connected to Elder Scrolls in any other real way. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Leaving a like would be more than awesome, and subscribe for future videos. Thanks for watching.